My name's Garry. I'm the founder of Loving Social Media. This idea of mine sprung up because I was very, very interested as an optician in marketing, and this, do you think, well, Facebook and Twitter was just there, and I needed a way of connecting with my community so I could be more easily found. And here I am many years later, 10, 15 years later, with an agency, really loving helping healthcare professionals, but it will help any business that wants to be more visible. So you've reached the FAQ section, and I've just asked AI, what kind of questions would people be asking today in September of 2026 about social media? So we're going to run through some of these. It's in video, it's in any form you want it. So the first question is, what social media management services does Loving Social Media provide? Well, it's a whole spectrum of things. Every single platform has its own little quirk, if you like. So Facebook is one of the oldest. It has groups. The other ones don't necessarily have groups. So if you were to employ us and said, look, really, we want to drill down on Facebook because it's an older demographic, it's not just making that content. It's about understanding that the platform is different from the others, and you maximizing the paid ads, the organic stuff, the groups, the page. Very complex. If it's Instagram, say for instance, that's much more visual. Again, it's a meta product, so there's an opportunity to do paid ads. We do the whole spectrum. You want to grow your audience, well, we will do that. We understand collaboration posts, how to do great stories. YouTube, really optimizing that well is about having short video and a long form, and putting chapter dimensions into your video. There's lots to it. So Pinterest, I could sit here and name them all. X now, like, I love X, it's so good, but it's a bit toxic sometimes. We've got TikTok. All of these platforms need to be handled well. So if the question is, what service do we provide? If it's on social media, we will do it for you. What social media platforms can Loving Social Media manage? All of them. There's nothing we can't really manage. We find Snapchat challenging, as does the rest of the industry. It's quite challenging out there, but if it's something that you want, we'll do it. What types of businesses and organizations does Loving Social Media look after? Well, we will look after the biggest companies. We look after a £1 billion company that's an aesthetics company. I won't say it because just in case they don't want me to. But to the smallest little garage that looks after people's cars. So for us, it's about connecting with the owner, the founder, or the department, and being brave, because we've passed the stage of just being on social media for the sake of being on social media. We now want it to be effective and slot into the other parts of marketing. So Loving Social Media has a massive digital footprint with all of our clients. When we say there is a Google business profile that needs to be updated, it sits in between social media and SEO. We like making website updates, putting on blogs. So it sits in that holistic part of how does my digital marketing be more effective, email marketing and so on. Does Loving Social Media specialise in opticians, healthcare and regulated industries? Yes, we do, because I'm a clinician. I'm a qualified optician and I just speak the same language. But then sometimes I'll speak to a personal trainer that's moving from London to Dubai, and I'll be so excited, and my team, on helping them. It really depends. We love variety. We're not just for opticians, but it just so happens I happen to be an optician. There's opticians I speak to that I don't understand them. They want to still rely on word of mouth, which is fine, but that's inconsistent. that goes, you might have a great January and a terrible February because people aren't talking about you at that particular time. The point of marketing, it's the same. So if you join Loving Social Media, whether you're an optician, a dentist, like an audiologist, doesn't matter. It's the attitude of experimenting, not being afraid of getting things a little bit wrong, because how are we going to learn? How are you going to break boundaries? What's included in the monthly social media package? Well, it it's wrong to just call it social media, because we want to explore your if you're certainly small to medium sized business and you haven't got a department, it would be wrong for us not to touch at least your email marketing or your Google business profile, or your website might be so out of date that we want to update a few things. Like there's a hero section at the top of the blogs. Is it there? When was the last time it was updated? Have you got featured images? Just as important, because that social media element will create the interest for them to then move on to the funnel of understanding you. They're going to do their due diligence. They're going to look at your Google reviews. They'll, especially if it's a high ticket item, they're going to ask AI for some recommendations. And if you are everywhere, if you dominate everywhere, which is totally possible, that's what we want to do. Can Loving Social Media create videos, reels, graphics? Of course. We have our own podcast. We have our own. I love the video. And then I was speaking to someone yesterday, and they're really terrified of getting in front of that camera. I've been in this situation many times. It's not my first rodeo. Even if you're scared, we got you. Okay, so there's a solution to every problem. Does Loving Social Media manage paid ads? Yes, of course. We look after your paid ads. Price and performance. How much does professional social media management cost? Well, we have, if you go on our price list, there's a done for you that starts at 500 and can go up to 2,000, and there's done with you. So that means you do the work and we teach you. So that's £100 a month. Small business, just starting out, more time that wants to work in the business rather than on it. The flip goes to an entrepreneur that is really passionate about being in the business rather and allowing those bigger tasks to be outsourced. That's a smart thing of how you scale. So that's when you come in at the smaller package, Sprinkle, go up to a Splash, go up to a Tidal. I love to see a business go from small to medium to large. That's amazing. How does the onboarding process work? Well, it's pretty simple. You like the sound of us, we organize a Zoom call. It doesn't have to always be Zoom. Some people prefer Meet, some people prefer Outlook, whatever it happens to be. My team work remotely as well as in a physical place. To meet them all is good. So we say, let's jump on a Zoom. We have a Zoom. We set expectations. Well, I expect this, and I would like this outcome. If you trust us and you like us and you think, well, these people are reasonable and they sound fantastic and they really care, which we do, it then goes on to an onboarding form. We send it. It's pretty straightforward. It will say, do you have a YouTube channel? No, I do not. Can you give us access to your website? No, I can't, but speak to my web designer. So the whole onboarding form doesn't take very long, 5 minutes. It could take 10, because the first question is, what's your expectation? That's really important. How does Loving Social Media measure social media performance? Well, there's these metrics that sometimes mean very little. They're called them vanity metrics. So you could get 1 million views, but in Baghdad, and no one cares. Or you could use the metric of, am I getting more phone calls? I love email. So one of the metrics is we send out emails for you, and if that turns into a customer, you've just seen it work. If a Facebook inbox comes in and says, I'd like to know more, you know it's working. Those are the metrics I love, but we can supply you with any metrics you want. Can Loving Social Media guarantee follows, inquiries and sales? Well, that's such a good question. It can, if you pay enough money, you can guarantee follows. You pay and they give you followers, whether they're the right ones or not. and it's math. The more you're seen, the more inquiries you get. Now, sometimes the call to action, that's the bit where I'm saying, look, give us a call. If you're not answering the call after 3 rings, if the person at the other end isn't very good, i.e. smiling, standing up, you're going to lose it. So we can prove that the phone has been rung, but whether or not you can complete that is down to you. So we take it to a point, but I love training. So if that's a situation where we're looking at the holistic point and you're not converting enough, then that's a conversation we can have. Last couple of questions. How quickly can loving social media begin? Well, we like to definitely get those foundations right. If you can jump on a Zoom, we love each other. We think, well, our vision aligns, the expectations align. Well, then from there, we would send you the onboarding form. You fill that all in. Access to your social media is easy and everything's easy. It could be within a couple of days. If finding your Facebook page, some Saturday kid 20 years ago had access and no one has access, and you've only got 5 or 6 followers, forget it. Just start a new one, right? And then we'll work on merging them. So it does depend, but the world record is we've started on the same day. Everything has to be right. Starting a client before actually the expectations are met and onboarding's done properly can lead to disasters. How many loving social media protect clients from logins? Well, the logins are very, very well protected. It's by a password. I use the industry standard LastPass. We do recommend that the passwords are changed. Some clients have not ever given us access to their social media management, and we will work through their own portals. So it is possible to work with us without ever giving us your password. That is a thing. It can happen. So the scheduling platforms that you give us a login details and we just put it in there. How does loving social media ensure content compliant with UK GDPR? Well, look, we set rules at the beginning. We make sure that everyone knows those rules. AI is amazing nowadays. That could even be an extra layer. So the first layer is we know the rules. The second layer is checked by at least 2 people before it's sent to you. We will always ask you to look at it before it goes out. And then as a third layer now, AI is amazing. It can have a look at it and make sure that that is happening. If you're comfortable with that, who owns the social media? You do every time. And what happens when there's a complaint or negative comment? Well, we really care about your online reputation. So we have looked at many times where someone's given a bad review and got that either removed or changed around. When it comes to social media negativity, the best thing is to ignore it. It truly is. You could switch off the comments. The more you engage with that person, that keyboard warrior, the worse it is. So sometimes you can turn it around. We love Innocent Smoothies. They would always be quite playful with their audience, and that's us. Like we turn strangers into customers. We understand the sales funnel. The founder is the judge in the Best Business Book Awards, specifically for marketing, on my fourth year. I love reading. I love innovation. I think I'm the only person, well, I know I'm the only person that contributed and visited the biggest social media conferences in the world. One was San Diego, the other one was London. We're into it. We're a marketing company. We understand that social media is just one element of it. That's the element that we love, but we understand all the other bits that make it work, that any marketing agency out there worth their salt has to know how all the platforms work, how digital marketing works. I hope this has been helpful. Down below is a link to booking in an appointment if you want to, and that's the very first process of just having a conversation. So there's a telephone. We own a landline, 0203-846-8888. We're very friendly. If you want to get in touch with us through social media, you're very welcome. I hope you found this useful. I certainly have enjoyed answering some FAQ questions.